You're watching I-24 News. I'm Narit Ben. We're here with breaking news, a developing story out of Texas, Sutherland Springs, about 30 miles southeast of San Antonio. That's what you're looking at now. Aerial images of that church. A mass shooting with multiple injuries and possibly fatalities reported. At this point, the incident is believed to have been contained. The gunman shot. No identity whatsoever on the person behind this or their motivation. Several outlets are reporting multiple fatalities, up to 27 dead by some counts, but that number is by no means confirmed at this point. We'll continue to update you as that story. Another tragic shooting, all too common out of the United States, this time in Sutherland Springs, Texas, that small town. A church service turned deadly. Until then, we're going to continue on to right here in the Middle East. The stories defining the day, the fallout growing and reactions adding up over the resignation of Lebanese Prime Minister Saad al-Hariri. Hassan Nasrallah, the head of Lebanon's Shiite militia Hezbollah, has given a televised speech just a few hours ago, in it calling the resignation a Saudi decision imposed on Hariri by force.
This information gives us a clear conclusion that the resignation was a Saudi decision dictated to Prime Minister Hariri, so he was forced into it. The resignation wasn't his intention, desire, or decision. Hezbollah as a whole will not discuss the content of the resignation statement because we consider this text to be a Saudi text and a Saudi statement. Therefore, when we want to discuss the political content of the statement, we will address Saudi Arabia.
And earlier, Hezbollah's sponsor, Iran, dismissed the resignation as well. For them, they say, part of a plot to stoke tensions in the Middle East. Hariri resigned on Saturday in a televised address from Saudi Arabia. There, he said he feared for his life amid reports of a foiled plot to assassinate him. He accused Iran of sowing fear and destruction, warning Tehran directly that its hands would be cut off. And while Saudi Arabia is being accused of playing a role in that political upheaval in Lebanon, at home the Saudi kingdom is seeing a massive overhaul itself. A series of princes and ministers, among them one of the richest men in the world, arrested by the king's new so-called anti-corruption committee. The story from our Ariel Levin-Waldman.
Saudi Arabia's anti-corruption sting has netted some of the country's highest-ranking figures. 11 of the country's princes, to be exact, including critic of the United States, Prince Al-Walid bin Talal. Worth $18 billion, Al-Walid bin Talal is one of the world's wealthiest men and one of Saudi Arabia's most powerful figures. But not powerful enough. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has been consolidating power for years while restructuring the government, slashing salaries and cutting government contracts. The Crown Prince has been the dominant figure in Saudi politics, military, foreign, and social affairs, prompting concern among the other princes that bin Salman is too powerful, and that the anti-corruption probe, announced just hours before the raid, is just a thinly veiled power grab. For his own part, the Crown Prince has been getting close to the Trump administration, as Saudi Arabia and the United States make closer ties to combat Iran and the Islamic State in the region. Al-Walid bin Talal, on the other hand, has been an outspoken critic of Trump, engaging in a public Twitter feud with the President of the United States. Al-Walid's arrest is likely to throw global markets into chaos, but allows Saudi Arabia to consolidate its authority and present a united face to the Western world. Ariel Levin-Waldman, I-24 News.
And elsewhere in the Middle East, over the last week, a lot of speculation surrounding the explosion of a tunnel deep under the Gaza Strip leading into Israel. Now, the Israeli military has come out with a statement confirming its role in it and revealing this, that the bodies of 5 terrorists were uncovered during the operation in Israeli territory and are now in Israel's custody. Islamic Jihad, which operates in Gaza, has said the 5 militants had been digging the tunnel into Israeli territory for years. That vast network of underground tunnels under the Gaza Strip proved to be a major threat to Israel during the 2014 war between Israel and Hamas, and is still a top priority for the defense establishment there. That Israel is holding 5 bodies of those militants. What that will do to the potential for conflict, yet to be seen. We'll move to Europe and to Spain, where a month-long political crisis has come to a dramatic day in Belgium. After fleeing to the country last Monday, ousted Catalan President Carles Puigdemont and 4 regional ministers this afternoon turning themselves in to Belgian police. All 5 of them had outstanding arrest warrants in their name, accused of rebellion and sedition in Spain. And now it's in the hands of a Belgian judge. From the Brussels prosecutor, here's a little bit on what to expect next.
This afternoon, the persons involved will be heard by the investigative judge in this building. The investigative judge has to decide within 24 hours, which means that a decision has to be made no later than 9:17 tomorrow morning.
And we'll take you from there back to a live developing story at a Texas Baptist church in Sutherland Springs. You're looking at aerials of that church as law enforcement and FBI gather there. Our New York Bureau Chief Steve Langford joining us. Steve, what do we know at this point?
Well, again, the reports are just painful. We're talking initial media reports of 20 to 25 dead, again, unconfirmed, another 20 more wounded. I can tell you that San Antonio, Texas, is a big military town. There are several U.S. military bases in and around San Antonio, so the trauma care for these victims should be quick and first-rate.
All right, and we're talking about a shooting that at this point has multiple casualties, that is multiple wounded. Fatalities are a possibility, but not confirmed at this point. Has anything been heard from medical centers? I understand that some Connolly Memorial Center among them has confirmed receiving several injured.
There's a lot of great health care in and around San Antonio. It is not a small city. And again, with the military presence there, these people will be looked after fast.
Our senior international affairs correspondent Owen Alterman with us as we look at those images live from Texas above that church in Sutherland Springs.
Yeah, Nurit, again, and as Steve mentioned before, and it can't be reiterated enough, what seems to be an all-American, a pastoral scene, the First Baptist Church. What could be more all-American than that? And then in the middle of the Sunday worship service, the most important day of the week for Christians in prayer, excuse me, a man walks in at 11:30 in the morning local time, fires what were reportedly 20 shots, but it must have been more given that the casualty numbers that we seem to be getting. And again, just another mass shooting to be added to the long list in the United States. The other thing we can mention about Texas is the state is famous, among other things, for its gun culture and for its relaxed laws on the possession and the carrying of firearms and guns. Nurit, as both you and I both know, this story has been a major focus. That aspect is a major focus after past shooting events.
More updates to continue with Owen Alterman. Stay right here. We're going out for a 3-minute break. Much more on that developing story in Texas and more from around the world when we're back. Don't go anywhere.